Greetings everyone, and Great here for another H-Powers 3 replay. So on the right side is the blue, I want to say Canadian. We have blue Maltese, we have Canadian. That name always throws me off. So on the left side is a red Japanese. We have harryh0111. You're a Japanese man, Harry. But now that doesn't work out too well.
Hello.
Maybe I should say the N-word. The Japanese N-word. And no, probably not. I really should not do that joke. Either way, Maltese player doesn't have deck selected just yet, nor the Japanese player. Blue will be taking on a local kitty cat. And does manage to get it snared right there. Keep out max range, so it did bug out a little there. The lion is actually a decent combatant, has 10 damage in melee. The Explorer does have higher DPS in melee, so technically the Explorer will win 1v1 combat. I don't know why it seems like she's losing so much. And the Lion has now leashed back. Of course, we do have some very important natives on the map. The local water buffalo. As well as we do have some chakram thrower people. Available for the Japanese. And now he has the rush, so we'll perhaps see a rush deck. See, enlist irregulars, villagers, a lot of villager cards help feed his economy. You know, this doesn't seem like rushing to me. I mean, Yumi Archers, Yumi Archer attack, Archagaru attack, that's pretty standard, even non-rushing decks. So 3 Samurai is a little less common. Yeah, I don't see how this is a rushing deck. Unless it's a deck he designed that supports his rush style. That may be it. Actually, there's a lack of shrine cards, so I suppose there's this shrine card. Times 2. Either way, for the Maltese, we got the land deck, which involves killing a cat again. German tongue. We've got trip to Jerusalem. I want to say road to Jerusalem. Why do I want to say that? Either way. There's also a word I just always have trouble pronouncing. I don't know why. There's a lot of words I simply just can't pronounce. Jerusalem. I can never pronounce that up. Damn this speech impediment. For those who don't know, I actually do have a bit of a speech impediment. There's some words I simply just cannot say. And I had to be... Did the cat just try to eat the yak? Or the water buffalo? It also doesn't help that I bit my tongue yesterday. And so a part of the tip of my tongue is also still a little bit numb. I bit it hard. We do now have the Torah gates being put on the field. We'll give him 1 samurai military rickshaw. So yeah, it feels weird to talk with just half a tip of a tongue, which I can feel. If that makes any sort of sense. We do now have the quartermaster now being brought on in.
Yeah.
Grove rickshaw still migrating around. Red is not using his Grove rickshaw to scout. Red is engaging some kitty cats of his own. 1 kitty cat does go down. And he will be behind the steel the mangrove trees for that they can no longer lounge alone in. Can't pronounce any word today, can I? Eager being killed on Alf, and he'll steal his Quicksilver. Quicksilver is another name for Mercury, which is like 1 or 2 metals you can find naturally. Well, technically only 1 of metal that you can find naturally in real life. Well, real life. Naturally, that's in the liquid state. Technically, also, you could perhaps count gallium in that, which is naturally a solid, but if it's warm enough, say, in your hand, then it does melt. And you can play around with it like mercury. And it's just pretty much as toxic as mercury. No, pretty much any of the metals are as toxic as mercury, honestly. Except uranium. That's far worse. Not even radioactively. Uranium is one of the most toxic things there is. So when it comes to uranium rounds, if I hear tanks using that, The big danger is not the fact that it's shooting potentially radioactive material, it's the fact that it's shooting very, very poisonous material, which can be turned into a fine dust by impact. High velocity impact. High velocity in the form of a tank cannon impact. Either way, you now have some macaws being killed on off. This monkey is happy and now dead. He may have lost one of those villagers to that samurai. How honorable, killing an unarmed man. Although supposedly he does have a gun, so the Second Amendment did not protect him. And the war chief does go down. That's a pretty good usage of a free samurai. We got now some hospitals being put on the field. Very nice. Hospitals are free. Or nope, they're 100. I think there's a card that one of the people decks can deploy on the field. The Mexicans, I believe, can make his general able to pull out hospitals and to build soldados, if I remember correctly.
I feel a bit strengthened now.
That was not those explorers. That was this one here. Or I suppose the Maltese are called the Grand Master, isn't it? And the Japanese explorers are called... I always forget what it's called. Like, not Shaolin monks, that's the Chinese. Settler Wagon does go down. This was a nice little pick. Samurai does get stabbed to death by some pointy sticks. More Settler Wagons have been put in view, and more crossbows on the way. Got around Ashikaga musketeers blown them out. Crossbowmen are technically a counter, but more of a soft counter. They only have plus 25% damage versus heavy rather than plus 100% or plus 200%. So I don't really rate them as a counter in this age. After all, right now 16 damage gets bumped up to 20 damage, which is less than the Ashikaga musketeer and regular musketeer. But they are a little bit cheaper, so they may be point for point cost effective, but even then I think that's stretching it. I haven't done the exact math. Another round of crossbows being pulled on out. It has been pulled on out. Now we got a round of samurai, which are halberdier variant, which are also vulnerable to crossbowmen, soft counterness. They are far inferior to pikemen. Hell, even Ashikaga musketeers have better melee damage to pikemen. He needs to keep these crossbows moving. We got some Yumi archers, which is more of a mix between a skirmisher and an archaic archer. Has less damage than the standard skirmisher, has slower attack speed, only gets plus 50% bonus damage. Those skirmishers of a similar, like, archaic nature, like slingers, usually have the plus full 200% damage, or 100% damage. Crossbow need to focus on those samurai, especially when they're melee. They're a lot more dangerous in melee than at range. And right now, blue's starting to get whittled down quite a bit there. Crossbows do get a nice volley there. Using the pikeman for some mass, but the samurai do have a bit of AoE. Melee 1 AoE is better than range 1 AoE because you're more likely to fight a pile of units. Got now the Grandmaster drawing quite a bit of fire there. More of the crossbows there. It is somewhat fine that they actually take on archers well. After all, in comparison, Yumi archers are 25 extra resources, and all for only slightly more damage and a little bit slightly more range.
I feel a bit strengthened now.
More crossbows being put on the field. Now starting to switch forward, we do have a shipment of pikemen and more crossbows being put on the field. Shipment of coin in return. Red does back on off. Blue does have a decent force of crossbowmen. The problem is, well, even if it does start pushing towards his opponent's base, crossbowmen have horrendously bad siege damage at 8. In comparison, Ashikawa musketeers have 22, but a more closer comparison is also Yumi Archer only has 9. But we do have a large deployment of crossbowmen.
Yes?
He's not close enough to the field hospital to get healed on up, is he? Yep. 8 range for the healing is actually pretty short. This is the crossbow's 16 range, so divide that by half. That's the range of the healing of the hospital, so around here... That can't be right. Oops. That cannot be right. If that is, that... Granted, the hospitals are free, or cheap, so... I think it should be buffed with a 10 if that is 8. That is not good. We do have more crossbows put on the field. We also have an outpost here, so he does have 4 shipment, so such as these soon-to-be crossbowmen. And Maltese does get a little bit extra health and damage per shipment, so his guys are slightly getting more and more powerful. A little bit overkill there on the Ashikawa musketeer. Good hits there on the samurai. They have a lot more health than musketeers. But still just from melee resistance rather than range resist. Yumi archers do have 30% range resist in comparison to the crossbowmen 20. More pikemen now being deployed on the field. And the barracks will likely go down. Everything else is being picked on off. Some irregulars now being deployed on out. Got these units making their way down south. We also got a round of these, he has got a Japanese isolationists. These guys are basically a pikeman variant that's fast and more similar to Rodialos, I believe. Musketeers starting to go on down. Sentries now deployed on the field. Another shipment of archers there. That he's also gone to the Fortress 8. He's gone for the Golden Pavilion, which will of course give him some extra range damage, which is not going to be super great in this situation. He needs more units. And looks like Red will be knocked out of the game shortly. And Red does back of the game now. This is Angry saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay.